Ambassador Carolyn Rodrigues-Birkett, permanent representative of Guyana to the United Nations, speaking on behalf of the Caribbean community, Caricom, backed the African Union Committee of 10 calls for urgent UN Security Council reform.
Mr. President, at the outset, I reaffirm Caricom's full support for the African Common Position on Security Council reform as contained in the Ezulwini Consensus and the Sirte Declaration. I also underscore that the positions of Africa and Caricom on Security Council reform are almost identical, save on the point of the rotating seat for SIDS across all regions. Excellencies, the reform of the Security Council, though urgent, has become a protracted process with very little progress in the intergovernmental negotiations.
The cost of this ongoing delay, the ambassador noted, is evident in the increasing inability of the Security Council to effectively fulfill its mandate for the maintenance of international peace and security. She added that the exercise of the veto prerogative, for example, without any measures to safeguard civilians who are victims of atrocities, remain one of the most compelling arguments for the early and urgent reform of the Security Council.
Further, the continuing exclusion of whole regions from the permanent category of membership on the Council is another cost of the delay in reforming the Council. Africa and our own region of Latin America and the Caribbean remain the victims of this anomaly. It is particularly perturbing that Africa's exclusion from permanent membership continues, though the agenda of the Security Council is heavily focused on the African region.
The pace of the intergovernmental negotiations, Ambassador Rodrigues-Birkett noted, must match the urgency of the need for reforms, and this has been a sore concern over the years. While acknowledging the vision, Ambassador Rodrigues-Birkett said, among the membership on the substance of the reform, particularly on the pillars regarding the veto, regional representation, and categories of membership, Caricom emphasizes that the best way to bridge those divisions is to revitalize the working methods of the IGN.
Take full advantage of the commonalities that exist among us. Let us also prioritize outreach to all stakeholders in the IGN, because dialogue is really the only way through which we can bridge the existing differences.
In June of this year, the 13th ministerial meeting of the African Union Committee of the 10 heads of state and government on the reform of the United Nations Security Council was held, where there was a unified call for urgent and equitable reforms on the United Nations Security Council. Delegates gathered to reaffirm Africa's position and strategize on advancing the quest for fair representation. Colwyn Abrams, NTV9 News.